All right, moving on, step 4, placing holds. So in Libby, each library card user can place up to 10 holds per card. So once you hit 10, you'll have to either tag those items or jot down the names or the author so you can come back to them later. So you only can place up to 10 holds on your card. As you search or browse, take note of titles you might be interested in reading or listening to. Once you've found a title, you can learn more by tapping the cover image, as I mentioned earlier. So let's find a title that we'll have to place a hold on. So let's go back to the Explore lists and let's look at what's popular. We're going to do all titles. So how about we place a hold on Guts by Raina Telgemeier. So if you want to learn more about this book, you're going to go ahead and tap the cover image. This will bring you into the item record. You'll be able to borrow if the book is available, place a hold, read or listen to a sample, or tag the item. So you can see those options right under the book cover. So since this title is not available, we're going to place a hold. Because it's an ebook, you could open it up and read a sample. If you used up all your holds, you could also tag it. So you could add those tags that I talked about. So you could do book list, liked it, didn't like it, etc. To read a sample, it would open it up for you and you would just wait till it loads. And from left to right, or excuse me, from right to left, you'd go to get back to the main menu. You tap in the center and you'd go back. In addition to those options to learn more about the item, place a hold, borrow, you can see too that you have a brief synopsis of the book. If there are book reviews, sometimes you'll have just snippets of those reviews to read as well. If you scroll down, you'll see that if it's part of a series, you'll have the other books in the series as well. And if we have those copies, those items are hyperlinked. And if you scroll further down, you'll get more information about the item. So the format, the series, author, publisher, imprint, etc., etc. Some of the stuff that might not be as interesting to you as it is to librarians. In addition, it'll also give you maybe some other read-alikes that you'd like. So if you keep scrolling down, since Guts is not available, maybe you could look at one of the books on these auto-generated lists and choose one of those. It looks like most of them are checked out, but a few you could borrow. So let's go back up and place our hold. So what we're going to do is click on Place Hold. So it'll bring you to the Placing Hold page. So there's a few things I want you to notice. So it'll show you which library card you're going to place a hold on. And it's going to tell you how long you'd have to wait. So right now, because there are 17 copies available and 2 people waiting before you, so we have about 6 weeks to wait. That's actually a relatively short time for Libby. Some of the really popular items, you might have to wait longer. So if you see a wait that you just don't feel like you can wait for, maybe you shouldn't place a hold. So we're going to go ahead and click Place the Hold button. And it'll say you'll be sent a notification when it's ready. And so we can manage those notifications, but we already did that earlier. So now you can read a sample. If you accidentally placed a hold, you could suspend it. You can keep browsing, or you can go to your shelf. So we're going to click Go to Shelf. And now you can see that this is under your Reading Now section. So it's your hold. It's not actually in your shelf. So if you clicked on the Holds tab, you'd see it right there. And if you wanted to manage your hold, you could click on Manage Hold, and it tells you the information. You could cancel it, you could suspend it. So suspending means, let's say you know a hold is going to be available pretty soon, and you just have too much going on, maybe too much schoolwork, you'll be out of town. You can suspend a hold for a certain amount of days. So what that means is you're off the list if a book becomes available, but when your hold suspension is done, you'll go right back in the queue where you were. So if you were number 2, you suspend your hold. When it turns back on, you're still number 2. You don't go to the very back of the list. So let's just practice doing that. Let's suspend it. Let's say we're out of town for 2 weeks. So we don't want the book to become available. So we're suspending our hold for 14 days. When it turns back on again, we'll be in the exact same part of the line where we were before. So let's go back to our holds. And that's about it in terms of placing holds. Thanks so much, friends. Next, we're going to talk about actually borrowing materials.